Spirit Dive YUNO was confirmed this morning, and we got a bunch more kit information, and also we got his official color and role. So we're going to be able to check what teams he's going to be very good on and how exactly he's going to work within the meta due to having, well, information on the kit and also because of all the extra leak information. So for this, I mean, YUNO looks so sick. I just want to say the art for YUNO especially is so good. I don't know what it is, but I feel like the art has taken a step. It's become like even better, right? Even better. Something looks a bit off with this arm, but I think it's probably just because there's no like shadows or anything. But bro, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. This skill page especially, they've been cooking with the art. So yes, I'm very excited for YUNO. I will be maxing him out probably day 2, because day 1 I'm going to do like a 0 skill page dupe showcase. We'll see how exactly I go about it, but I mean, for Fest, obviously, he is a Fest, right? I should probably say that. Usually I always go, and people should generally go for max dupes of them. Now, I feel like this, kind of solidifies you wanting to go for mono green, essentially. I mean, if you look at it, there's a second Fest now that's going to be very good. And we already have Leona, right? Mono green is cooking now, so we're going to go over pretty much all of that good stuff. But let's go into his kit, right? One last time, explain it kind of quickly at the same time, but we've had most of everything that's been confirmed. Well, everything that they've talked about was basically in the leaks. So we could imagine that most of this kit is pretty much done, but there might be some small changes. Like, I think the increased speed might change and the silence might change. Okay, so let's explain it. His LR passive basically is that at the beginning of every turn, he gets increased damage dealt. And that is very good. Hopefully it could be up to like 100% increased damage dealt, but I'm gonna guess maybe the way I'd want it to be would be probably like 20% every round up to 60%, or up to 100% if they're like, very nice. But I just want this YUNO to be busted. It's Spirit Dive YUNO. Like, bro, come on. Look how he looks, man. He's too good to be anything but #1 in my eyes. And now we're starting to get more towards an attacker meta and less towards defender, so please make it good. Now, the main thing is his ult. So his ult applies Spirit Dive, and that's going to basically be what his whole kit revolves around. Now, the ult should be single target because there's no way total silence is on everyone, but this ult should do pretty good damage. So total silence, and also grants a speed increase with the Spirit Dive. Now, the skill 1, which I'm going to guess is single target, is going to be applying a reduced mobility debuff on an enemy, which is super strong, and then also giving himself increased speed if there's Spirit Dive. So it's going to be like Leona and also Black Asta in a way where they get, if they have their special buff, then they get certain buffs. Well, they get certain parts to their skill. Where Asta, it's one or the other. Leona gets multiple things, I guess you could say, in a way. Spirit Dive is the first to really have it in this way, where you could get 2 buffs. Well, basically where, well, you got the skill, and then if you have Spirit Dive, you also get another thing, where Asta was one or the other, and Mario just got certain buffs in a way. Well, it wasn't exactly the same for Mario, right? So they've all been done in a different way. Where Mario didn't really have anything like Spirit Dive. It was just her skill page was going to be doing much more damage when... Oh, it's this. Her skill page does more damage, or well, she does more damage when her skill page effect is active. So when her mana skin is active, she's doing more damage, essentially, is how it goes for Leona. But then for Asta, it was just one or the other when anti-magic is activated, and then for YUNO it's one or both, which is very good. Now the skill 2 I'm going to guess is AoE. Reason being, it says designated enemy. Now what does it say that for? Usually for skills that require you to have an AoE. So for example, I'm pretty sure we could see this with Zora. To all out. Okay, so is it on this? No, I know that Black Asta has it. I don't know if it Pride translates it the same. Okay, from a designated enemy. So this is an AoE skill, but because only one enemy is getting this dispel barrier, it says designated enemy. So that's my guess for why this is an AoE. Now, besides the silence, which he applies with Spirit Dive, he also just reduces mobility. If this is AoE, this is going to be very strong, right? Just outright reducing mobility. If it's like 20-30%, like, bro, is going to be scary. And then obviously we went over the ult. Which he should be a quick DPS or quick attacker, then this ult is going to be crazy. You just want to be quicker than Witch Queen, and you could basically protect yourself for a lot of the cases. Especially when you consider what his LR plus 2 and 5 dupes do, so the Awakening passives. Guess what the LR plus 2 does? When you get Spirit Dive, you get invulnerability for 1 turn. That is crazy. okay? Because you are basically protecting yourself and everyone else. You could, okay, this is going to allow you to play so well with mono green. If you have Vanessa, it's going to be scary. Vanessa gives Mario immortality. Vanessa gives invulnerability for 2 turns, and YUNO gives himself invulnerability. So you can have 3 units that cannot die to Black Asta's AoE. That's going to be crazy. That is going to be crazy. And then at the start of turn, grant self an SP plus X buff. Now, why is this good? Because of this. When Spirit Dive is present on self upon attacking, there's an X% chance to grant an SP plus X buff. So basically, you can get your ult back in like 1 or 2 turns, depending on how much this SP buff is. I'm going to guess 3. If it's anything more than that's going to be insane. But you could get like 1 SP here, 3 SP here, you're getting it back in 2 turns. So, you know it's going to be pretty crazy. Now, not even just that. He removes immortality on his combo. And this is really good when you consider that Red Charmy has immortality. You could remove that. Asta has immortality. You can remove that. And then obviously the barrier immunity too. You're adding barrier immunity on a potential AoE skill, which we can't tell yet. So, you know, just looking at his kit, right? Obviously, we got all of that good stuff. I mean, total silence, a bunch of speed increase, and mobility depletion on the enemies. Getting invulnerability is going to be very strong. So now let's go into the team section. And we're going to talk about why. I mean, mono green is just number 1. So obviously, first of all, we got Mario Leona. Okay. Mario is crazy, right? She's going to be giving everyone damage reduction and also stun block. Okay. And for a team like this, it's going to be very, very good. Now, her main thing, obviously, is that she's going to be just tanking and also still being able to do damage, which is very strong. And I think it's just going to be a very good type of playstyle, being able to taunt, all of that good stuff. Mario just kind of completes the team, especially because she's going to get immortality with Vanessa, the next unit that we're going to talk about. So this Vanessa is like just insane. She's just gaining more and more and more and more value. So she's at 110 speed, which is pretty good. Now her main things is the ult and the unique passive. And also the LR plus 2 and, well, basically everything, if we're being honest. So the LR passive, what it does is it gives Mario immortality. When it's a full green team, when it's sense equals green, right? You give immortality to defender mages. So Mario's getting immortality. So she is basically just not really going to be dying. Okay, great. She gives 50% immobility to a defender mage at the start of your turn. Okay, Mario's going to be doing a bunch of attacks. Noted. And then she gives him vulnerability to an ally for 2 turns. And then dispel debuffs on that ally. This is crazy on YUNO, okay? Or anyone else, okay? But on YUNO, if you get silenced by red YUNO, and you cannot use your ult, and you want the invulnerability to be able to be safe from Black Asta, well, you got Vanessa, right? That's basically how they play around YUNO, with Vanessa being able to just protect green YUNO from getting cooked by Black Asta. Because YUNO could easily total silence Spirit Dive, and then Spirit Dive cannot use his ult to get the invulnerability when you're at 2 loops with YUNO, with Spirit Dive. So this is going to allow you the protection in those cases. Now, when you're not in those cases, and when you don't get silenced, you're going to look even better. You're going to look even better. So, we know that Vanessa could just give this to anyone, right? And Mario has immortality. So, what you're able to do is you're able to protect 3 units from dying if 3 units will not be affected by Black Asta's anti-magic out of the 4 on the mono green team with Spirit Dive's ult active. Number 1, Mario immortality cannot die and she's already a tank. Number 2, she gives invulnerability to an ally for 2 turns. It's either going to be her or Charlotte. And then YUNO gives himself the invulnerability. So 3 out of the 4 units will not be affected by Black Asta. Isn't that crazy? And then afterwards, YUNO is just able to immortality kill Charmy. Or whoever in this case. Like, I don't know what type of team they're going to be running. But either Charmy or Will usually. And if it's Asta, well, guess what? YUNO could just immortality kill Asta. So yes, this type of team is going to be crazy. No one's really going to be dying. And they are going to be doing quite good damage. I mean, YUNO is going to be cooking, right? I think it really depends on this Blessing of the Wind Spirit, how good his damage is. Because the rest of his kit does not really have much damage. He is more of a debuffer in this way. But, right, we see cases like Julius, where Julius did do pretty good damage. But we need YUNO to be a step above, okay? Because Julius damage just sometimes doesn't even cut it, right? Black Asta damage sometimes doesn't even cut it because of how much damage reduction and buffs you stack. So we need to see a bit of a power creep, okay? What I need to see for YUNO to really be soaring heights, right, is just a bunch of like number power creep. So for example, Black Asta, 300% ult. Okay, we need to see stuff like that. We need to see buffed Vettel, which I don't think they have it. Do they have it? They don't. But buffed Vettel is at like almost 300% ult too. We need to see just amazing numbers and amazing stats. We need that power creep to hit in, okay? Because if not, this green YUNO, like, he will be good, but he won't be as good as he probably should be, right? We need YUNO to just go crazy. Now, even without all of that, this YUNO is still going to be, like, even if he doesn't do, like, #1 damage in the game, which I hope he does, he's going to be quick, he's going to be total silencing, he's going to be just invulnerable, he's going to be spamming his ult. Remember, he gets SP plus probably 1 at LR plus 5, and then with max dupe skill page, you're going to be getting a bunch of SP when you're attacking with Spirit Dive. I low-key feel like you could get your ult back in like 1 turn, but maybe 2 turns. There's probably going to be 100% uptime on Spirit Dive when you have this max duped. So this mono green team that we just described with obviously Mario, Charlotte, right? Vanessa, and then Spirit Dive is going to be insane, right? You got the triple waifu and then YUNO. Now besides that, other green units I think that could be good is probably Mimosa. I mean, there's not going to be many teams where you could nuke YUNO, but if there is a time where that comes, this invulnerability to the person with the high soul attack turn 1 is going to definitely help YUNO, right? Now besides that, like, I was saying Summer Vanessa maybe, but the other Vanessa is just outright better, right? Only because you might want Spirit Dive to be protected from red YUNO, but I just don't think that's really going to be needed anymore. So I really do feel like there's not really like too many options that, or units that you should run on this type of team, right? Fauna is basically useless if YUNO is good. Same with Licht. Any DPS, right? Any green DPS. All of these guys are basically null and void now. So, in PvP, obviously, PvP. So, we're going to have to see how that works, but I feel like Rill is not really going to be needed too much. I mean, you can't really use YUNO anymore. Mario, obviously. So, it's like they kind of slimmed down on what you could really use on this team now. But, I mean, obviously, the options are all top-tier options. I'm pretty sure the tier list should be coming out soon, so I will be reacting to it soon, but Spirit Dive mono green is going to be cooking, man. I mean, it sucks that they're mono green, but we're going to obviously discuss within that fact, and I mean, it's going to be crazy.